Hello, my sweet children. It's another story time with Grandma. Today's story is from The Princess and the Frog, and it's called Tiana's Big City Sound. Get comfy and cozy, and I'll begin. One beautiful fall day in New Orleans, Tiana received a letter. Her cousin Freda was the leader of a band in New York City, and she had invited Tiana to a show. Tiana had never been to New York before. She couldn't wait to hear her cousin's band play. Tiana left Naveen in charge of her restaurant, Tiana's Palace, and boarded a train heading north. Tiana settled into her seat and got ready for a long ride. But the train was so much fun, she hardly noticed the hours going by. Tiana loved watching the countryside from her train car window. But none of the sights were as impressive as the New York City skyline. The skyscrapers of the tiny island towered over the sparkling river. When Tiana came out of the train station, she couldn't believe how many people were there. She was surrounded by flashing lights, and everywhere she looked, she saw screeching streetcars and racing taxis. Tiana couldn't wait to see her cousin. She took out Freda's letter and read that she had to get to Harlem. A stranger pointed toward the subway. Tiana rode all the way to Harlem, lulled by the sounds of the big city. When Tiana arrived at the theater, her cousin came running out to greet her. Freda was just as Tiana remembered, full of energy. "I'm so glad you're here," Freda said, pulling Tiana into a big hug. "But I have some bad news. Our usual joint is closing." Freda explained that there wouldn't be any show. "No show!" Tiana exclaimed. "But surely you can find somewhere else to play." She wanted to help. Tiana promised Freda and the band she would find them a new venue for their show. Tiana and the band tried theater after theater, club after club. No one was willing to take a chance on Freda's band. "Let's face it, Freda," the saxophonist said. "We're out of luck." "I guess I'll go back to working at my uncle's diner," the guitarist added. "Playing in a band was just a silly dream." "No," said Tiana, "we can't give up. Not yet." Tiana couldn't see Evangeline, but she could see the high ceiling of the library's main room. She could see the lovely old windows and the neatly arranged tables and chairs. It reminded her of her restaurant. Suddenly, she had an idea. Tiana grabbed a paper and pen and started making plans. Then she talked to the librarians. When the head librarian heard Tiana's idea, she called her colleague over. "We've been talking about hosting some cultural nights," she said. "This might be the perfect way to get started." Tiana introduced Freda to the librarians. Together, they started planning. That night, long after the library would normally close, it was full of people. When Freda and her band started playing, even more folks crowded in. They wanted to know who was making such amazing music. Tiana wasn't surprised. Her cousin's band was really the bee's knees. After the show, bookers crowded around Freda, competing to get her band to play at their theaters. Everyone else crowded around the librarians, asking what they would see at the library next. Tiana watched from the library doorway. Her plan had worked, even better than she dreamed. Later, when all the people had gone home, Tiana and Freda went to a deli for a late night snack. Thanks for your help, Freda said. We never would have played the library without it. I have an idea for your next venue, too, Tiana said. Tiana's Palace. It's the bee's knees. The end. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. I loved reading it to you. Until the next story time with Grandma, be good. Grandma loves you.